Broadcasting from the World Conference Center in Bonn, Germany, Solutions Review is on location at the FME User Conference 2023, the peak of data integration. Brought to you by Safe Software and Conterra.
I'm Doug Atkinson, and we are here in Bonn, Germany at the Peak of Data Integration Conference, and we are speaking with Cynthia Morquecho Diaz, who came from Mexico all the way to Germany to work at NBB indirectly. And you're here at your first FME conference,
Yep.
and you have a really interesting story to tell, so let's get into it.
So I'm originally from Mexico. I studied in Mexico City geomatics engineering. I did a master in Mexico actually, and then I didn't want to lose the opportunity to study abroad. I was really fascinated about the idea in going to Germany and study and learning the language itself, which is quite complicated to learn.
Yes.
For someone who's from Mexico or that speaks Spanish, certainly. So I found a master that was held in English, and I came all the way from Mexico to Munich, and then I moved every 6 months to a new city to study something different. So I started in Munich, and then went all the way to Vienna, and then Dresden, which is in the north part of Germany, and then to the southern part of Germany to NBB, to the headquarters.
Well, and so you're here because one of your colleagues is presenting an NBB case study.
Exactly.
And you are providing support by stepping in and doing an interview.
Exactly.
In a third language.
In a third language, which I would say German is my third language.
Second language.
I use it every day. Luckily for me, I already studied in English, so they thought I would be the best asset to do the interview while I was actually in holidays. So it's really interesting. Like my colleague presented a use case in spatial business intelligence that the company developed, and it was through the years because we started since 2018. I wasn't even there at the company back then when they started this project, and nowadays it's functioning. Of course, there's more development to do, but it was a really nice use case, and we were so proud of it as let's go to the FME conference and present it.
Well, and ultimately that's why we would encourage anybody to come to these FME conferences, because there's so much shared learning. And you get all this organic interaction with folks just kind of, having coffee and some dessert, and you get to catch up with everybody. And there's a whole bunch of other things going on down there, including breakout sessions and ping pong and other things.
Fun. Yeah.
Having fun. So what can you tell us about your experience with FME? I know that you're now GIS administrator, so you're obviously in the geospatial realm. How are you using FME, and where do you employ it within your organization?
Of course, so the NBB nowadays has a GIS department, which didn't have back then, didn't have in the past. So we are a quite new team, and they noticed that we needed to migrate data, that we needed to share data, integrate data. So that's what I'm basically doing every day. I came here to the company almost 3 years ago, and I didn't even heard about FME back then. So FME was quite new. I didn't even know how it worked. What was the approach of the system? How could this help me, to manage to carry out my daily activities at the company? So I started self-learning, from the software. There's luckily a lot of documentation, a lot the community, safe community is amazing. What someone can learn from them, just by reading. So nowadays, we are two people, working primarily with FME. I'm one of them, and my colleague that presented today. He's the other person who has been working with FME since 2017 probably. So he has, of course, more experience than I do, and of course, like the transformation of data, like trying to integrate the data like into our systems, that everything that we get from our customers, because we provide portals for our customer, web portals, so to show them their own data, we also need to transform their data, what they capture every day, into our systems. We have internal customers, we have external customers, so we do pretty much with FME every day. We have the server apps, so the community or internal customers can interact directly with FME, and they feel themselves like they are also like specialists in FME, even if they didn't program like everything that is in the back end.
So what would you say to somebody who was kind of in a similar situation to you back 3 years ago, where you weren't familiar with FME, but they were thinking of coming to it, or they just heard about it? I mean, what would your advice be in terms of coming up to speed, and whether or not, what pitfalls they might look out for, or what things they should lean into and take advantage of?
Of course, for me, it was totally an advantage that I already knew about S3 world, and I did know about some language programming, so Python, a bit of JavaScript, a bit of here and there, and also SQL. So for me, like this way of thinking of the programming side, like in algorithms, helped me a lot to understand the way FME works, because I won't type directly like the programming, like what I want to program, like I would do with Python, for example. But as I know like what I want to do, I can already search like in the FME community, how do I translate all this knowledge that I already have and integrate it like here in FME. So that's pretty much what FME means to me, an integration from my own knowledge that I had back then. And I would say like having this background helps a lot to understand FME and to deep into it like without that many problems. There's a lot to learn about the system, of course.
And so you're using it every day, and every day. And of the things that you've been able to see here in the past couple of days, is there anything that kind of stands out as something that you're excited to be using more of?
I can even choose. Like it would be actually very difficult to choose what I would like to start like using and applying from nowadays, because everything that they are showing, I didn't think about it. Like it was right. even things that I didn't even know that FME could do. So with this is in any presentation, I'm already thinking like, how can we use it like in our daily basis, in our daily approach of the using system at the company. And so the ideas come, and I think with FME Flow, there's a lot that we can do, a lot of automations maybe, that could help our leaders, that could help other people to make better decisions, like in which way, or faster decisions more than better decisions, in which way we want to follow the company or to run the company so we can grow, because they have the plan to grow. They have the plan to have more employees, to have more energy plants, like renewable energy plants, and they have like already the view to the future that they want to do more. So how can FME like help to make these decisions like more efficiently and faster to approach and to get faster to this goal that they are achieving. That's already what I'm having in mind, like with every presentation I have attended.
That's great. Well, we certainly appreciate you coming by and sharing your insights and thoughts, and certainly best of luck on your career path and what you're doing with MBB, and best of luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you. Same for you.
Thanks.